Hello friends, happy New Year's and welcome to 2022. Today I am working on my vision board for the year, my goals, whatever you want to call it. I am personally choosing to do a virtual version of this where it's on my computer. You can cut out magazine clips, whatever it is. I'm going to hop on over to my computer, share my screen with you, and we can work on this together. Whether you want to make your vision board along with me or you just want to get some ideas, write them down, let's go. So I am really excited because today we are going to be setting the 2022 dream board, goals, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be the background on my computer, which is my work computer, so I see this every day. I have my planner here, a coffee, a snack. My little one is napping, so we'll see how long this lasts, but hey, grab yourself a snack, a delicious beverage, and let's start planning for what we want for the year. I personally don't set goals. For example, I don't say I want to be on a diet or like all of these crazy fitness stuff, and I'll kind of explain as I go. So I'm going to share my screen with you, show what I'm doing. I'm taking pictures off of Google and then I'm adding them to a blank canvas and going to make a beautiful background to inspire me throughout the year. So hopefully this sparks some creativity in you. I'm going to be writing some ideas on my planner here. This is my 2021 planner, so I definitely need to get a new one because it's 2022 now. I'm filming this on New Year's Day, so happy New Year's to you. Let's get started. Let me know in the comments down below something that you are looking forward to this year or that you are going to be thinking of working on, maybe adding to your own little mood board and dream board for the year. And we're going to do this together today, so I'm really excited. I'm also struggling with a pretty bad head cold, as I'm sure a lot of us are in the world right now with the holidays and everything going on in the world, so bear with me and my, congestedness. I do apologize for that, but hey, 2022 is starting. The world and my life must go on, so let's go. So I googled the size of a desktop background for my computer, and I suggest you that as well if you're going to put it as your phone screen background or whatever it is. So I did that, and I'm doing it on picmonkey. I just feel like it's a lot easier. So I did already go on Google and get a couple of pictures, so I'm going to upload those right now. And I'll kind of explain as I go. So this one I thought was really cool. I'm going to crop it a little bit, but I like the idea of, this is my version of what I see this picture as, just a Google image. So it's kind of like we're jumping away and leaving behind the craziness of 2021 and 2020 that we all went through. I definitely just want to kind of forget about all of the rough things that I personally went through, and I'm sure a lot of others are in the same boat, though I'm sure there were wonderful things that happened as well. For example, I had a baby and things like that, so there were some great things, but I'm just ready to hop on over to a new year, new me, and just be better for myself. And that's kind of what this whole idea is. So the next one I wanted to share with you is this. I know it's Nike, but this just do it kind of saying. And honestly, this is my motto for the year. Instead of doing a specific goal for the year or resolution, I try to focus on a word. So because just do it is not one word, it's kind of Nike and it has nothing to do with the actual brand. It's just reminding me to just do it. And to go into detail, which kind of links to a couple other photos I have here, like I said, have had a baby this year. It's been a lot. It's been really rough with just the years that all of us have been having these past few years, but I've been struggling with postpartum anxiety very badly, so that's what this image here is kind of representing. And I am in counseling for it. I am, talking with my doctor. We're doing the proper things that need to be done to make sure that I'm being taken care of. But one of those things is there are a lot of really hard things that come with postpartum anxiety and depression and OCD. So that's what I'm struggling with at the moment. It's postpartum anxiety and postpartum OCD. And for example, one of those things being I don't really leave my house right now because I have a really bad fear of leaving my house, something terrible happening if I leave. It gets a lot more into detail than that, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to leave it at that. So the just do it is there to kind of tell me like, hey, you're safe, you're good, just do it, you're fine. And even talking about it, I'm getting a little bit tingly. Another thing with that is, for example, I'm going back to university this year. I got accepted into a really good university in the area, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm going back to complete a program. I'm going to be in the same industry that I'm in with the same company, but essentially I'm just going to be upgrading what I can do and then hopefully working in head office of that company, and I'm able to just really thrive there. I feel like that is my calling, if that makes sense. The section or area that I'm working in now in the company just isn't necessarily my thing, but it's the entry level kind of position, and I want to get in a different spot, you know, something else without giving away what I do or where I work. I'm going to leave it at that, but my career is kind of going to continue, and I want to branch out into that a little bit more. So the graduation cap doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be graduating this year, but I am starting the program in about a week or 17 days, and I'm hoping to finish it by this time next year. We'll see. That's just the goal, to work on it. It doesn't matter if I finish it in time for the next year or not, but at least focusing on it and not giving up while I'm staying home with 2 kids on maternity leave at the moment. So it's going to be a lot being in university from home and that, so definitely something I want to put on my board to make sure I'm focusing on. Another thing I'm adding here is, as you can see, a house with some keys, and that is, I really want to be able to purchase my own home this year. If you haven't seen my videos before, long story short, we ended up selling our home this year, or I actually ended up selling my home this year, but as I'm sure you know, the market is crazy probably everywhere, and it's a lot here. We live in a very expensive place, and because of my situation with my oldest daughter, I can't move too far away, so I have to stay here, unfortunately, which is a very expensive place. It is one of the most expensive places to live in the country I live in, so you know, it is what it is, but I do need to stay close because this is where, you know, our family is and all of my daughter's family is, so we need to stay really close for that reason. Which, all that to say, I'm putting this on my dream board, my mood board for the year, because I really want to focus on getting a place, even though it's a lot harder because of how everything's going in the world, the market and things like that. But for my family, I definitely want to focus on getting a place. Again, it's just going to be myself getting it. I'm not going to be getting a co-signer or anyone else along with me, so we'll see if it happens this year, but I've definitely been trying, and it looks like maybe this is the year, so we will see how that goes, but that's on there for now. Along with that, wherever I am living, I want to get my garden going again. I am a huge garden lover. I love to grow my own fruits and vegetables each year from seed. I love doing it. My kids join in. It's just so much fun. I sell them as a side income as well, and then I'm able to have fresh produce every day throughout the summer and fall months. But since we moved, I had to get rid of my garden. So here, it's not really an option, unfortunately, to have a garden, but maybe in the near future or something, even if it's like an apartment-sized garden, you know, in just a couple of containers and Rubbermaids, that's awesome as well. But I just loved this garden photo, so I put it on there as my inspiration. So now that's kind of what I pre-added. We're going to look up a couple more options. Let's keep going. So I definitely want to explain the different things that I'm putting on here, because if you haven't noticed, I'm really big into symbols. So for example, I'll show you right here. I'm going to get a picture of a fork. What the heck? Why is she getting a fork? I'll show you. Okay, so hop on over to Picmonkey. You know, if you have the paint feature on your computer, the paint app, whatever it's called, you used to use it back in the day, if you know what I'm talking about, that works great, or Microsoft, whatever. I just like using this because I know how to use this. I use it for my videos all the time, but you do whatever works best for you. You can print these out and do just one that you put on your wall. I would love to do that, but we are renting at the moment, so I don't want to put anything on the walls, and like, you know, it's not my space to be adding things to the walls too, if that makes sense. Anyways, so these 2 forks have absolutely nothing to do with actually eating as my goal, though it kind of looks like it. So I'm going to make them a little bit smaller because they don't need to be this huge thing. So what these forks represent is, if you watch my videos before, especially my minimalism videos and decluttering, I used to own 2 forks before I moved to this home, and the only reason I now have more than 2 forks is because of my dishwasher. We have a dishwasher, and what the 2 forks represents is really just living simply and minimalistic and all of those things. And no, I'm not saying that my goal is to have 2 forks. It's more of like a symbol and representation. And it was a lot easier and simpler because we didn't have a dishwasher in the old space, so having 2 forks was great because my husband and I, each time we ate, were able to wash our cutlery and our plates and everything and then have them ready for the next meal. So we never had dishes messy everywhere. Our kitchen was always clean because we only had enough for each of us. And so that kind of simplicity is something I want to continue, that kind of organization. And again, like I said, it's not to do with the 2 forks. I want to make sure everything I have has a purpose and a reason for it. That's kind of my mindset, and I want to really focus on that this year, making sure we're not having an excess of stuff, because now we are in this beautiful home. It's a lot bigger than our old space. I absolutely love this kitchen, but it's been a big change in the fact that there's a lot more cleaning to do now that I have a bigger kitchen and a bigger space and more people that we've added to the family this year. All that to say, I really want to focus on keeping things that are really important to me and that we use on a, frequent basis. I'm just kind of using the graphics on here as well, but you can pull them off of Google or whatever. So I do want to find just a nice little heart shape. I'm going to put the heart shape next to this right here, and this picture here that I googled is postpartum is what I googled. So part of that being I just want to love my postpartum body more. I don't go to the gym. I am not a gym person. It's just not my thing, and I'm not wanting to lose weight. I'm not wanting to any of that stuff. I don't go on diets. As you can see, I'm literally eating a bowl full of M&Ms while sipping on an oat latte. Like, weight loss and weight gain isn't my priority. I don't care, as long as I'm happy and healthy. But the heart there is I want to love my body the way it is and love myself. Being comfortable not wearing makeup, posting on the internet, I know, shocker, things like that. So the heart is there to kind of remind myself to just love myself. So how are you feeling so far about all of this? The hard part is like figuring out what you want, if that makes sense. So let's see, another thing I definitely want to add to my list. I mean, honestly, this is pretty self-explanatory here. I have my license here where I can drive with my kids, I can drive with my husband, I can drive with myself any time of day. But I do have restrictions on how many people I can drive that are not in my family. And there are a couple of like other random restrictions. So I do want to include that. I want to get my full license, like that I can drive anywhere in the world. For example, right now I can drive in the United States, I can drive in Canada, but if I go to visit my family in Europe, I legally cannot drive there until I get my full license, they call it. And you have to keep the license that I have now for 2 years, and then you're able to go for a test. So I could have gone for the test already, but because of everything that happened in the world the past few years, the testing was down, of course. That was not a priority. And it's so busy that I had to wait a year after I tried to get a test date just to get in. Are you working on your dream board along with me? That would be super fun. If not, just watch and get inspired. Write down some ideas while you're watching. So I have a couple more ideas now. They just left my head. Oh yes. So one of those being financial stability. Sorry if I'm spelling these things totally wrong, but Google will fix it. So financial stability is really important to me, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people. But one of the biggest things that I personally have as something that I focus on all the time, not just this year, is though of course I love my partner and we are a family and a team, right? So we're parents and our money and our bills are somewhat together, but I make it my own kind of goal to make sure I am financially stable on my own as a person. I never ask people for money. I never have. There's nothing wrong with that. If you need help, reach out for help. But I just never want to get in a space where I don't have money. I have been there when I was younger, and I made a promise to myself when I become you know, an adult on my own, have my own family, I will never get to that spot. And though of course people don't actually anticipate getting to that spot, and life happens sometimes and you just get there, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I don't get to that spot. So that is why this financial freedom or financial stability is there, to remind myself to never let my bottom line on my account get to zero. It's just something that has been taught to me since I was very young. And make sure that, of course, like my husband and I are financially stable together as a family, but myself, I am able to cover my own finances and whatever we need on my own. So that kind of goes into getting my own property purchased by myself this year and things like that. And it ties all together. So that's a really big one I want to focus on this year. I've kind of mentioned this before, I do a lot of shopping therapy. I like to buy things. It makes me feel good for a few seconds, and then I stress out about the clutter and I end up getting rid of it. So it's just a waste of money, really. It's overwhelming. I don't know why I do it, but I just do, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I am going to be putting up a little thing, probably this stop spending money one, to just remind me. I used to be so good at saving money, and since we've been staying home, there's like online shopping. I actually like this keep calm, I like this keep calm and stop spending money because it kind of ties into when I get anxious and nervous, I go to buy things, and I don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to do that. If I can find things for free or secondhand and save money, that's going to be a lot better. New bag or new shoes, I don't need that. So telling myself to stop spending money and enjoy the things that I do have kind of ties into the two forks thing that I was explaining earlier. So it all kind of ties together. I know maybe this isn't relevant to you, but for example, for me, my YouTube channel is something I'm very passionate about. It is a hobby for me that greatly turned into some type of income for me, and it's kind of my side income at the moment, which I really appreciate, and I'm so thankful. You know, for example, right now you're taking time, and together we're able to make this mood board together, and it's just really fun, the community of people that I've met, especially the past few years with lockdowns and things like that, not being able to see other humans, but finding people in other similar walks of life as me online has been really great, and I've met some wonderful people. I see you in my comments, you know who you are. I see you every time in my comments. There's a few people that are there every video, and we're chatting, and it's so amazing to be able to talk to someone, especially when I am at home with kids all day, tiny humans, and that's who I talk to. It's exhausting. So I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I'm going to make the YouTube a little bit smaller because it's not my main goal here, but just something I want to add. I don't know where I want to put this yet. We're just going to throw this on the side for now until I find a good spot for it. But I'm really thankful for you. Whether you're subscribed or not, it's not a huge deal, don't worry. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, if you like my videos and press the like button and you send a comment down below. It really does help my channel and my videos to get pushed out to other people. The whole reason I do my channel is not for the money at all. Like I said, it started off with a hobby for 4 or 5 years until it became something that I ended up starting to get paid for, and I don't get paid a lot. I get paid like $100 every few months for it, which is still better than nothing. But I started it because I wanted to help people, help other moms specifically is what I started it for, who were struggling in similar walks of life like me, feeling alone, financial struggles. I went through single motherhood for a while and co-parenting, so I share videos on that. I do a lot of Cricut videos for crafting, so a lot of people have found me through those videos. Just a lot of different things that I'm very passionate about, and I wanted to help others, and that was why I started my channel, and that's why I continue to make my videos. For example, today I'm here to help you, though I'm just kind of blabbing on to you and talking your ear off right now. I'm trying to help someone, and if I can just help one single person, I've done my job. You all help me as well. It's so nice to be able to talk to people and chat with you in the comments, and like I said, I see the same people even if you've only commented once, or even if you don't comment. Like, I see you, I know you're there. When I watch YouTube videos, I don't comment normally. I just kind of watch them while I do things, and it's not because I don't want to comment, it's just like I don't know what to say. And so I appreciate you. Even if you don't comment, if you're just here watching, I see you, I appreciate you, and I just wanted to say thank you. So I'm throwing a Cricut machine up there because I love to craft. As I said, I make videos on my channel as well to help others, because I do use my Cricut machine as a side income as well when I sell things that I make, and I like to help others, whether you're a mom or you're not. It doesn't matter. I specifically am a mom who makes side money with it, but it doesn't matter if you're a mom or not. My videos can be for you and can work for you. So I put this on here as well because I do want to keep focusing on my crafting and the things I enjoy, but I also want to continue to make content about it and all of those things. I apologize if you see me shaking sometimes. I do that when I get a little bit anxious. It's just kind of how I release that. So I do apologize for that. I'm trying to work on that and not do that as much. But something I want to throw on here is, I mean, I don't necessarily know if we'll do this for now. We'll add this. So again, this is more of a symbol. It's not necessarily specific about Europe. Well, in a way, I have, well, all of my family is in Europe and in England. And I have my siblings living here and my parents, but everyone else in my family lives there. And as I'm sure a lot of us, because of the crazy few years we've had, we haven't been able to see our family. And I want to be able to do that again. Who knows what the world has in store for us, so I'm going to put it small in the corner somewhere, because hey, like, I'm not going to be hard on myself if I'm not able to travel. I will also not travel. I know other people, you do you. If you're traveling, you know, people I see traveling to Disneyland and all that stuff during a pandemic, you do you. You do what you want with your family and whatever. But for myself and my children, especially since my kids are young, as much as I would love to go to Europe and go to England and see my family, I would absolutely love that. And if the opportunity comes and the pandemic is gone, then I will absolutely be on the friggin' first flight there. I promise you that. But we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna add that on there for now because I miss them, and either way maybe I can, you know, have that flag there to remind me to reach out more and send more emails to them and video chat with them more, because I'm able to chat with my cousin who lives there all the time, which I love. Like, social media is great for that reason. I'm able to talk to them. Some of them watch my YouTube videos, so hello if you are my family. It's just yeah, I'm sure you know, if your family lives maybe just on the other side of the country to you or anything like that, it's been hard. My parents live 5 minutes down the road, and I wasn't able to see them for over a year because of the pandemic, and I'm sure a lot of you can also relate. So it was difficult, and like I said, they lived 5 minutes down the road. Like, I passed their house every day. I actually ran into them in the grocery store one day during the pandemic, my parents, in the grocery store, because we go to the same grocery store in our town. And it's like, oh hey, haven't seen you in a while. I didn't even recognize them because, like, well, they don't really watch this, it's okay. They looked a lot older and they were wearing their masks at the time, so I thought they were like an old couple. It was my parents. Don't tell them I said that. But I was like so confused when this man came up to me and was like, hey, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my dad. So anyways, I ran to them in the grocery store, and that was how I saw them, accidentally running into them. We should have planned that better, but that's how I saw them the first time in a very long time. So I feel like I've been blabbing on so much, and I just want to apologize for that because I like to talk, as you can tell. But I'm trying to come up with some other ideas to throw on here. There are definitely some things that I am wanting just in life in general. I want chickens, for example. Probably not going to happen this year, but that's something that would be super cool. But I don't think I'll add it on here because I don't think it's going to happen this year. I am not feeling good today. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I do want to, I mean, we're getting super personal here, but that's okay. I don't mind sharing this with you. Not too much into detail, of course, because it's not only about me, but I do want to put something about focusing on relationships. And like I said, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but you know, I met my partner right before the pandemic hit. We met in November of 2019, and then the pandemic hit, and we were living together at that point. So we went from just starting dating to a full-on lockdown. So we were together 24/7 with my child from a previous relationship, and then we ended up having our newest child. So it has been, you know, it's a lot. Going from normally when you start dating someone, it's kind of like, you know, you go to their house every now and then for a year or two or something, and then you move in and whatever. Like, it doesn't matter if you live with your partner right away or not. No judgment. You do whatever you want. All of that to say, it is a lot for couples, and I do want to focus on that more. So I'm thinking of adding something like that, especially with everything going on, you know, having new kids in the mix and stuff like that. I definitely want to make sure that I'm making relations. It's kind of weird to put someone else's face onto my board, isn't it? I don't know. I am going to be adding this because I don't want to add some random strangers to it. That might be a little weird. I don't know. So I'm going to crop it, and voila, there we are. Hello. So I'm going to put us in the corner here, I think, or where should I put us? Hello. Okay, I do want to put a picture of the kids, but I don't want to show that on here, so I'll probably add their picture right here. I mean, I guess I could show it, but I am pretty careful. And right here I have a picture of 2 little kids, so that'll do for now. Let's maybe just put something that says family. Oh, if I could spell family, that would be great. We are a family. Come on, all my sisters. Okay, I can't sing, and when I'm sick, it's even worse. Even worse, I'll tell you that. Okay, no. How about this one? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to add this. I actually do know something I want to add. So I call him my husband, but Thomas the Train. I'm just looking for something that said Thomas, like cool. Thomas family name. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze. I gotta sneeze. So I call him my husband, but we're not actually legally married or anything. I don't know if we are gonna get married or not one day. I don't know. Anyways, we're not gonna get into that today, but I do want to legally change my last name to Thomas. Thomas is my favorite name ever. Ever since I was little, I was like, I'm going to name my son Thomas. And so when I met my partner and he was like, my last name's Thomas, I literally said, you're joking, right? You made that up? He's like, no. I'm like, that's my favorite name. Like, I don't care if we get married or not. That's gonna be my name. And my daughter obviously has that last name like her dad. Well, not obviously, but she does have that last name like her dad. So I would like to change my last name to Thomas. And again, we're not married. We probably won't be getting married, but it is something, because even if we weren't together, I love that name. So I do love that name. I want to probably change my name to that. It's just a lot trickier to not get too much into it. I wasn't born in the country that I live in, so it's not as simple to change my name without the marriage part of it. I have to kind of go into all these things and then I believe I need to speak to the country that I was born in to get that to be changed. It's a lot of work and I haven't really looked much into it yet, so I need to do all of that, but definitely something I want to look into. The only thing is my oldest daughter has her dad's last name, and I don't want her to be the odd one out with the last name thing. If you are in a blended family, what do you do? How does it work for you? Finally, I finished. I just added a few more touches, moved some things around. I did set it as my background, so let's see. Okay, that looks good. Self-care is not selfish. As a mom, self-care is something that you forget to do a lot of the time. You forget to even feed yourself half the time, so definitely something to focus on more. I added friends here. I know it's the TV show, super cliche, right? But it has nothing to do with the TV show. It's just more focusing on my friends. I get really caught up in life with the postpartum stuff. Like I said, I haven't been leaving my house, especially with the pandemic also. Like, it's just, I haven't been prioritizing my friendships. And though I absolutely love my friends and I would love to hang out with them, it does give me a lot of anxiety to leave my house and my home. And I'm really bad at texting people back because I'll read the message and then I'll go to like reply and the kids distract me and I forget. So I really want to focus on replying to text messages of my friends and checking in with them, making sure they're okay, and kind of nurturing those friendships that I already have because I love and care about them so much. And unfortunately, I just feel like I put my friendships on the back burner sometimes because my life gets a little chaotic. So that is something I added onto there. In the corner here, I have added to-do list, and I found one that said so many things, and that's perfect because I love to make lists. This book, this planner, is full of lists, and though it's really helpful for me to be able to check them off, I normally add way too much to my list, and I don't give myself a realistic time to complete them all, so I get overwhelmed by it. Though it's great to have a plan, I need to be realistic about the time I'm going to be executing that, especially because I'm going to be starting school and I'm a stay-at-home mom with the kids. I don't have any help with the kids or anything, so I need to be realistic about that, and I want to put that on there to remind myself that, hey, like, it's okay if you don't get your to-do list done, you're gonna be okay. The we are family bit, I didn't really talk about that, but it's just on there kind of hand in hand with the whole relationship thing and the family, and just really working on nurturing our family relationship, you know, the four of us here, and building that. And life gets a little crazy with the kids, you know, so I really want to focus on that this year. So this is kind of my overall mood board for now. We'll see, I'll probably add things as we go, or maybe I'll change something, but this is what I really want to work on this year, and I'm really excited for it. I think the biggest thing on this whole entire list that I want to focus on is the Just Do It, the Nike. I wish I could put like a little tattoo of it to remind myself, but that's something I really need to focus on this year, is just doing the things that I want. If I want to do something, just do it. If it's not going to hurt anyone else and not going to hurt myself, then why not do it? Why not try it? If I get invited out to, for example, I got invited to a baby shower this year, and I was so nervous I was going to cancel, just because I just get very nervous about going and talking to people and stuff like that, and I just need to do it, get out of my bubble and my little shell. And honestly, I went and I had a great time, and I met some wonderful people. So again, it kind of ties hand in hand to the friends thing and cultivating that. So all of this in a way comes together and kind of finishes off as a nice little bow. When I look at this, it's me. So it may look a little chaotic, it doesn't look as beautiful maybe to some people, but this is me. I definitely could make it more aesthetically pleasing. You could make it all cute and stuff like that for what you like, but for me this works. It gets the point across, and like I said, though certain things might not make sense to certain people, or someone may look at my laptop and say like, what the heck, why is Friends on her dream board and things like that, but it makes sense to me. So it may not make sense to other people, but whatever makes sense to you, make sure that that's something you prioritize. I am going to leave it at that. Please let me know in the comments down below, did you make a board as well? Did we have some fun together? I love hanging out with you, chit-chatting, and just spending a great time. I wish I could do this live and then we could talk, and you know, that would be so fun, but I don't know how to really work the whole live thing. I don't know who would join, if it would just be me talking to myself. So I figured I would film it. Maybe next time we can do a live. Let me know in the comments down below if that's something you'd be interested in, and we could do it together and chat, but that would be really fun. This is what we're gonna go for the year. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best and the healthiest of 2022. I hope this craziness ends for all of us. We can go back to normal or whatever it is. I try not to talk about it much in this video because I feel like that's all we hear about nowadays, and I'm ready to move on with all of that. So let's move on. Let's have a great year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now, friends.